Good morning, Friday, August 19th here. Well, I shouldn't say good morning because I don't know when you watch this, but it could be morning. Anyways, full Friday night schedule of games as normal today. No afternoon games, all evening games as the Cubbies are playing in Colorado today or this evening. So that's usually the only place that has a Friday afternoon game. So let's just jump right into it. We do have some weather concerns. I mentioned Colorado, and that's one of them. So let's just get to Colorado. First glance at my simulated radar that I use, I was like, you know what, that looks pretty normal. They normally play through stuff that is predicted to look like that. But I was like, oh, I always like to look at the surface map and see what's going on. And so what we have is really the weather pattern is starting to change a little bit, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why that is. And we have this cold front that's dipped down pretty far south for this time of year, and Colorado is going to be in a cool, damp, and air mass, and there's a northeast wind, and the northeast wind is pretty considerable. During the game, it's going to be 15 to 25 miles per hour. Two things about that wind. The northeast wind is an upslope flow that hits the Rocky Mountains and it's forced to rise. When that happens, rising air almost always in meteorology means rain somehow. Rising air in the summertime when it's warm causes thunderstorms. When in the wintertime, rising air causes rain or snow. And this type of air mass, really not concerned too much about thunder in Denver because it's kind of cool and behind the cold front, but the concern there is rain. So as I said in this report, Texas and Colorado seem to be the places where they will play through almost anything and wait stuff out, and if they get a chance, they'll play. So I am expecting the Rockies to play the game. However, I'm just saying a word of caution. This isn't your normal just there's going to be some thunderstorms around, a 10% chance of some rain. There will be rain at times, I believe, falling. Whether or not they postpone or delay, that's another concern altogether. Related to this front in the low pressure system is Kansas City, which is about right here, and I show them here. We got a major line of thunderstorms. Notice that Kansas City is on the other side of this cold front, so they're still summertime, while Denver is more like fall time weather. In Kansas City, there will be this line of thunderstorms heading there. It looks like it's going to get there very late. However, there's some of these thunderstorm cells, individual cells, that are out ahead of this main line in a warm, humid atmosphere. These are both features are a little bit concerning, the main line of thunderstorms and the individual thunderstorm cells. It's a little too early to tell if there's going to be any major impacts, but I'm just saying there is the risk for some rain and thunder going on tonight. And then in Atlanta, nothing out of the ordinary here. We saw almost the same exact simulated radar forecast for last night, and we saw what happened last night. They had a delayed start and were able to play. Almost a carbon copy of what's going to happen tonight. There'll be showers and thunderstorms around. They're not everywhere. They won't last all night. They'll probably play this game. There is the potential for delays. I wanted to point out a couple things now that we're going to go to good hitting and poor hitting environments. Generally, the best hitting park is Coors Field, and the worst hitting park is Safeco. Well, in both cases, we have some circumstances that make things a little bit different. In Colorado, I already mentioned the strong wind blowing in from right. Temperatures are only going to be in the 50s, as I mentioned here. And there's going to be rain at times. This isn't the classic wind blowing out to left, temperatures in the 80s, expect 5 home runs type of game at Coors Field. This type of atmosphere is challenging for hitters. The wind's blowing in. It's cool. Much different than what we've seen so far this summer. And as I said, with the atmosphere, the weather pattern changing a little bit, this could be part of it. So I know people love to stack Coors Field and say this is the highest potential. And I'm not saying that they won't score a lot of runs tonight. I'm just saying that it's not your typical environment where they score a lot of runs. On the other hand, we have Seattle. Seattle is going to be breaking or at least challenging record high temperatures today. Temperatures are going to be in the mid 90s. Yes, I said that. Mid 90s for high in Seattle. At game time, temperatures will still be in the mid 80s, and then they'll eventually fall into the mid 70s as we go through the game. But that's 20 degrees above normal. So one, we'll have to question whether even the roof is going to be open or closed, because they may close it with the roof, with it being that warm out. They'll probably have it open. Then the case comes, if it's open, how does this park play differently being 20 degrees above normal as compared to what it normally is? Normally it's the best pitching park, worst hitting park in all of baseball. Tonight maybe it's a little bit different. And we've seen San Diego, when it's warmer, play differently, and a lot of runs. Look at last night. It was warm there. A lot of runs scored. I'm just wondering if that's the potential of what could happen in Seattle tonight. And the other parks that stand out, obviously you got Tampa Bay in a dome. And then the others, I generally don't have anything standing out great for the hitter besides Colorado, and I already talked about how it's not as great as it could be. So kind of a weird schedule in that terms. Anyways, I got to get going. It's been about 6 minutes here on the video, probably stretching your patience. But obviously we got weather concerns, delay concerns, and then special circumstances with the weather, with the cool weather with a strong wind blowing in it right at Coors, and very warm weather at Safeco. Have a good one.